Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Club football has now taken a break and international football has taken over for the next week, and England have 2 games, so let's change it up for a second and get talking about England. With the Nations League coming up, we've got Greece and then Finland, and we have just played Finland, yeah, but obviously it's the Nations League, we only play 3 teams, and these two wins here could see us go, have a guaranteed space going up back into Nations League 8, where we should be as a top tier team, as a top level team, as one of the best teams in Europe, as one of the best teams in the world, and yet we're having to play against Ireland, Greece and Finland when we should be testing ourselves against the likes of Germany, Italy and Spain, like we did last year, and ended up getting beat by the likes of Hungary 4-0 and stuff like that. One of our worst defeats ever, and people still question of why Southgate ended up having to go with results like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved Southgate, I loved the Southgate era. The Southgate era brought a lot to us, it made me quite happy as a person, gave me some good memories, but they couldn't get over the line. It's same with Solskjaer for United. Solskjaer's United gave me some very happy memories, but we didn't win any trophies, and at the end of the day, that's what football is about. I've always said, England could win the World Cup in the scummiest way possible. I'll still be happy, man, that we won the World Cup. It doesn't matter how we win it, as long as we win it, which we haven't done, obviously, in my lifetime. So yeah, that's all what this series is about. It's about talking about how we can get on that path, and if Lee Carsley is the man to take us on that path, or whether there's someone else out there that we can be looking at, going, oh, it could be you, because obviously I think Eddie Howe's kind of downplayed his chances of getting it. I think Graham Potter has kept his his portfolio open. He's ready to talk about it. And if for some reason I've heard rumours of us waiting for Pep, I'm of the belief that the English football team should be managed by an English person, or at least someone who like Lee Carsley might have played for Ireland, but he's English. He was born in England. And even take like a McKenna who is still British. I'll take a British manager, probably not a Scottish one. I'd be alright with Wales. I would be alright with a Welsh one. Northern Irish, Welsh, English, I'm alright with, because I feel like they'll still have the best intentions, as a manager should anyway. A manager should always have the best intentions, but positives like Sven-Göran Eriksson, people loved him at England. I once again aren't too much of a fan of them times. It was our golden generation, stuff like that, and that's how I think people look at Southgate times. Is like, I really am a big fan of Southgate, but it had to get to a point where he had to go. It was like you have to win it or leave. It happens. Joachim Low was on his last chance when he won it. Deschamps on his last chance when he won the World Cup and stuff like that. Like these managers get given this is your chance. If you don't do it here, you're gone. And Southgate got given that chance and he had to go. I think Lee Carsley played good football in the first few games. What I like most, and it's a really picky thing, but when we're announcing our squads, that players are actually in the right positions now. We've got midfielders in midfield rather than as a forward, or defenders as a defender. Mainly Trent getting put in midfield. He's not a midfielder. He's the best at right back, and he played well at right back for his last time. And it does feel like going into this international break, we're going to see a lot of Trent and a lot of Rico Lewis at left back, and we are probably going to see a Stones and Guéhi backline. Stones, Guéhi, Trent, and Rico Lewis, which is very attack minded, but against these lesser opponents we can be. Pickford obviously will be the main goalkeeper for us, and then in the midfield, obviously Rice, Bellingham's in there now as well. I reckon we might see that double pivot of Rice and Bellingham with Palmer in front of him, Saka on the right. Wait and see, because Grealish got used a lot in the middle last time, so it could even be like Grealish comes in the middle, or Grealish might be on the left this time. Then we've got a depth to go in the midfield that Grealish can play there, and Bellingham can play in the role that Grealish was playing in. But obviously now we don't have Mainu. It's the first time in 40 years as well, by the way, that is, I think it was 50 years actually. It's the first time since 1976, which is 48 years ago, that is no Manchester United players in the squad. God, that is heartbreaking. That's how far we fell, obviously, because Mainu had to pull out the squad from injury, and so did Maguire. It's one of them. We make do. We do make do. Who else? We're going to see Kane up front, obviously, scoring more goals for England, getting more caps for England. He starts both of these games, he'll only be 23 caps off the all-time most capped England's men team player, which is insane. It's actually so insane. And I do think Kane is on the right route to be, the most capped England player of all time, both men and women. Wait and see if he can overtake the likes of Karen Carney and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still positive for this international break. It should be 2 easy wins. I'm hoping for 2 clean sheets as well. My fingers crossed. I think the back line is going to be tested because, you know, what Rico Lewis playing left back. We're still figuring out who our true left back will be, because Luke Shaw's not reliable enough to be fit. Rico Lewis, I think, is a very good option to be playing there. Levi Corwell's also coming in the squad. I think he's a good option to play there, depending on if you want to be more defensive or more attacking with your left back. The likes of like Ezri Konsa at right back and stuff like that could also, you know, if we really need to be like a really defensive unit, Ezri Konsa and Levi Corwell as fullbacks. You know, people go, that's way too defensive, but France won the World Cup with Pavard and Teo Hernandez. I was at Lucas, I can't remember which one's which. On the fullbacks with Varane and Umtiti. That's a very defensive back 4, and then he still had a midfield 3 of Matuidi, Kante and Pogba, as if that's not a defensive midfield 3. The way to play international football is to play defensively, because you can't instill tactics in them quick enough. You may as well go back to the basics of football and go route 1. You know, that's what they did. They hoofed it up to Giroud. Giroud could knock it down to Mbappe, Mbappe could score, or Griezmann could score. Simple as. Simple as. But yeah, I think, you know, see what Carsley can do in the international break. I like the last international break, and we'll do a review next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere around that time, after the 2 international games have come, because we've got, you know, tomorrow's game against Greece, and then Sunday's game against Finland, and then the next international break where we have our ending of the Nations League, where we play against Greece again and Ireland for the last time, hopefully for a while, because it's always a bit of a rough game, but hopefully in that game Grealish and Rice can get another goal. What am I predicting for the games? Greece is probably the toughest opponent we're going to come against. I'm going to go 3-1, and then Finland, I'm going to go, I think it's Finland, what I'm going to say, I want a 4-0. I want a 4-0 against Finland. That's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. And that is the end of the video now, guys. I do thank you for watching. Like the video, like, see more, subscribe to my channel every single day. So thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully I do catch you next time. Cheers.